My name is Miguel Hernandez. I was born in Ardmore, Oklahoma. I'm a father to three beautiful daughters, which my wife Karen and I both love and enjoy spending time with. I'm a transportation manager for a manufacturing company out of Enid, and I also operate a small auto detailing business here in Hennessey. I've lived here for about 19 years now. I went to middle school here and high school, and I've been here ever since. So I'm running for town trustee to better our community and to be a voice for the people that live here. I believe that I could be a bridge for communication for our community to resolve issues and, in a way to, make our town, grow and thrive. I believe Hennessey has some key areas that need to be addressed. I would say, all of our departments here in town probably have some things that need to be resolved. Main things are like our water lines, sewage, better roads for the public, and improvements to the library and our parks to promote more outdoor activities for the kids and the families to enjoy. I feel like I could probably give a younger mindset for our meetings. I think communication probably needs to improve a little bit. We, regardless of any outcome, I think we all have the same goal and agenda. We all love this town, and all we want to do is, strengthen our community and our Hennessey, town pride. Thank you for your time, and vote for me for town trustee.
My name is David Jones. I've lived here in Hennessey and owned property here since 1996. I'm retired military. I did retire out of the service, and I did gain employment at Vance Air Force Base. That's how I ended up here many years ago. Lived here ever since, except for some traveling for work. My family's been here. My children graduated from Hennessey High School, and they consider this place home, and so do I. I like it here. I like the people. My wife likes it here, and we don't plan on leaving. So, why I'm running? Well, I'm going to make that kind of simple and move on to our third portion. I'm running to get reelected. That's how simple it is. I've been elected by the people, and I really greatly appreciate being elected by the people. I've served a 3-year term based on replacing Keith Meek when he resigned off the board. And so I'm very grateful and very humbled by being elected when I was and the way I was. I'm not bragging on myself, I'm bragging on the town citizens. They voted for me in a fairly heavy vote count. And I really remember that, and I really appreciate that, and I'm excited about running again. The third portion of the question is, do I have an agenda? And this may sound a little bit weird, but yes, I have an agenda, and I'm getting ready to talk about it here. Okay? My agenda is not going to be a negative agenda. It's going to be a positive agenda. Again, I'm kind of piggybacking off of just saying I've got to move my hands or I can't talk. I've got to. I want to continue some of the learning that I've been able to accomplish as a new person on the board from 3 years ago up to now, and I want to continue my efforts. One thing that's important to me for the citizenry of Hennessey is that they are represented on the board. I want everybody to know who I am. I want you to see my face. Whether you speak English or not makes no difference to me. If I need to speak to somebody in Spanish, I will get a translator, or they can bring a translator. I want everybody to know that I'm going to continue my efforts to ensure citizen representation on the board during the meetings. I will speak. I won't necessarily. Yes, I give my opinion a lot, but my opinion don't count as much to me as the citizens' opinions. So if I get a bunch of citizens making comments to me and having conversations with me about a topic that I have a certain viewpoint on, it's very easy for them to change that viewpoint because I value their viewpoint over mine, is what I'm trying to say. And I will represent my constituents over myself anytime there is a variation or a difference in those two opinions. So bottom line there, it's very important to me to represent citizens of the town as I am continuing my activities on the board. To top that off, I'm going to say this. If reelected, I plan to meet with citizens in a much better form than I have in the past. In the past, I've talked to people at the Second Amendment meeting. I talked to people in the restaurants. I talked to people on the streets, in the shops, in the service stations. I get people's opinions. But I want to try to improve on that a little bit. I actually want to try to, I've been studying on that in Oklahoma state law. And it's not against the law for a town council person to meet with citizens and discuss issues and problems. So I plan on trying to elevate that to the next level. I want to listen to their concerns. And what I will do, now I may or may not be able to fix things on the spot or run in town hall and tell those ladies what to do. But what I will do is I will take those conversations that I've had and I will take action with my board colleagues as appropriate. An example of that might be that we need to improve a town-owned facility or something. So I would work with the board members and I would try to sell that to them and get their votes on the issues to spend whatever funds we have to spend to fix that problem. Okay? Another thing that's important to me, and I've learned this since I've been on the board. I retired from work, and I have been able to pay a lot of attention to what's going on around the town. And what I want to do as a re-elected town board member is I want to promote our town to the public. I want to support our recreational and business activities to the max, absolute max. And I know that All About Hennessey does a good job. You guys are working with us as we speak. The ladies in town hall do a good job of promoting our town to the public. And I want to help them. I want to help you guys. I want to help them. And I want to help my fellow board members. That's one thing that I have noticed about my fellow board members is all of them are supportive of promoting our town to the public, including our recreational and business activities. And I appreciate them guys for being the way they are on that. Another thing I want to do is I want to continue to work to improve our town infrastructure and facilities. That's very, very important. Some of our facilities are aging and they need a lot of work. And you'll see me try to work toward that, dealing with my board colleagues. And our infrastructure, let me give you some examples of town infrastructure that I know about that needs attention. And I'm going to talk about some more of that in just a few minutes. But what I wanted to say is, an example is infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, sewer system, water system, streets. We haven't done a lot of work on our streets over the past, I will even go out on a limb and say 10 years. I think we need to do some street resurfacing. And that's something that I want to work with my board colleagues on. try to get some of that on the table in our budget, get planned spending done on it in an organized manner. Another thing that I want to help work is to ensure our town complies with Oklahoma state laws as they apply to municipalities. I'm not saying that we're not complying with state laws. I'm saying that that's something that we need to do on a continuous basis, is to review what we're doing versus what's in Oklahoma state law. And we need to make our municipal laws and our municipal activities line up with Oklahoma state law to the maximum level possible. And I think we will be able to do that working together, the board members with me and Town Hall. A very important issue to me also is spending, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But I want to work to spend taxpayer funds appropriately and efficiently. I'm going to talk about, in a minute, I'm going to talk about a spending review that I want to do, okay? But I will put maximum effort into every penny that belongs to our taxpayers being spent appropriately, properly, usefully, et cetera, et cetera. I want to get as much as we possibly can out of our taxpayer money to provide results for the taxpayers. And I want to support our town employees. We have some town employees that do great work, and one of the things that I want to do, if reelected, and if not reelected, even as a citizen, I want to support our town employees to make sure they have what they need to get the job done. I don't want them out here struggling when it's wind chill 0 degrees and they don't have the proper clothing or the proper equipment or the proper vehicles to do what they need to do and get in out of the weather and keep our town running. And with that, Jack, with your permission, I've got two major things that I would like to address that I would like to work very quickly right after the election. And that main concern is spending money. I want to, when I get reelected, if I get reelected, I'm going to propose to the board, propose to my colleagues on the board, that we need to accomplish a top-down spending review, a review of all spending, not just some of it, not just pieces of it. We need to review all top-down. And when I say this top-down, I'm talking about 2 board members. We can form committees. We can form subcommittees. And so I don't want to do this top-down spending review on my own to make people think that I'm out to get somebody. That's exactly the opposite of what I want to portray. What I want to portray is at least, 2 board members to prevent violation of the Open Meetings Act. 2 board members can work together. And I would volunteer to be one of the 2 board members. And I would call this a committee. And this committee would work to review spending for the last 3 fiscal years. And this spending reduction review would be reported to the board to include spending reduction recommendations. And then further action on that would need approval by the board, and then we would shoehorn that into our next fiscal year budget at the appropriate time in history when the budget is being formulated and voted on by the board. So this might not be something that would happen immediately overnight. That's not what I'm looking for. And this would be a long-term project, actually. But I'm going to propose that to the board, and of course we would have to get those 2 town board members that I keep talking about. They would have to get high levels of cooperation out of the ladies that work in town hall, and it would even need the ladies to work along with those 2 board members through the process and come out at the other end, hopefully, with some fairly major spending reductions. I actually have one example of what I'm talking about. I'm aware of some contract work that was done recently here in Hennessey, and it cost us $60,000 just to get the contractor and the vehicles and equipment to Hennessey to start work. Okay, that was a pretty big deal for me. That stuck in my mind, and I knew the minute you invited me up to talk about stuff today, I knew that was going to be one of the things I wanted to talk about. That same contractor charged us, I want to say $25,000 for traffic control. And we actually timed that project for the time was during the summer break for school. School was not in at that time, which relieved 90% of the traffic. So we ended up paying $25,000. I may be mistaken on that. It could be a few more or a few dollars more or a few dollars less. But 25 is what stuck in my mind. So we paid $25,000 for traffic control. Now, so what I did is I actually observed. I made sure that I drove through there, dropped by. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't break any laws or any ordinances by communicating with contractors. But I watched what was going on. And the traffic control efforts that they put forth was about 4 to 5 traffic cones. And then we ended up paying that $25,000 on top of the other money. So I got, that really stuck in my mind, and I think that's something that we can dramatically improve on and save some of that money. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm not looking to do this by myself or be out to get somebody. What I'm looking for is teamwork. I'm volunteering for it, but if the board wants to put 2 other board members on it to do it, I would be very happy with that. Teamwork required, and the ladies in town hall should be heavily involved, hopefully in a teamwork environment there too. So, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the subject on you. I'm going to go to another concern. This one is something that might surprise you and might even surprise our town citizens. I'm a firm believer in we need to support our firefighters, and the timing is coming on us rapidly to do some very big things with our firefighters and our facility and our equipment. Chief Scott, in my opinion, Chief Scott and his crew gave me a tour of the facility and equipment just not too long ago. And I was able to see what they've accomplished over there. They were actually working on several projects while I was there. They've accomplished some things with our new fire station equipment and vehicles. And they do it. What's amazing to me is all of them have other jobs. And they come in there and they do things and they get things done. And I would probably be trying to work one project at a time. And these guys are working all kinds of projects all the time. And it's just amazing what they get done. And our county commissioners have supported our firefighters with outstanding results. One of the results that I'll talk about is the facility itself. You walk through there, that place is like walking through a Navy ship. The floors are clean enough to eat off of. Everything's painted. If it moves, it might not get painted, but if it doesn't move, it gets painted. And the equipment, the trucks, we just got a new brush truck that's being worked on, being prepared to be used. It's not ready yet, I don't think, but I think Chief Scott will have it spun up fairly quickly. They were working on it. They were restoring an old ambulance that belonged to the town. They're refurbishing that to make it work for what they need, and that's going to save all kinds of money. Them guys doing that on their own. And but what I'm trying to tell you is, now it's time for our town board, our town admin staff, all of our firefighters, and our citizens. I'm hoping to sell this to our citizens. They need to get on board. It's time for us to grow our firefighting capabilities. Just recently, we had all kinds of wildfires. And when I say we need to grow, we need to work to fund more facility improvements. The facility needs more work. Even though we've spent a lot of money on it, it's not quite to where it needs to be. And we also we're going to need to purchase a ladder truck for firefighting capability to increase our firefighting capability. All the technical aspects of a ladder truck, I'm not familiar with, but I have enough knowledge from what I've seen over there and what these guys are telling me. And I've had conversations with different firefighters, both current and retired, and the way our town is growing and the way our housing is being developed, the way some of our industrial areas are being developed, that ladder truck is going to make it much more safer for people to live and work in Hennessey. And it can be used in the rural firefighting also. A lot of people think, well, ladder truck, that's for cities. Not necessarily. I have learned that. And I'm just saying that to all of our citizens that, we need that ladder truck. And we need it in the very, very near future, and I will support that 100%. So I just got through briefing how important it was to me to reduce spending, and then I topped that off with, we need to spend money to get a ladder truck. And I realize what I'm saying to our citizens when I did that. And we got to set our priorities. We got to save money as much as we can in every way we can. But we need to spend some money on that ladder truck in our firefighting facilities and our firefighters. They need their equipment, and I know all those guys are going to support the community in a do or die fashion. And I respect I respect the work that they're doing over there, and I want to support them any way I can. And I just have a feeling that our citizens are going to see that, and they're going to rise to the occasion. And they're going to want to support it also. And I have full confidence in my colleague board members that we will get some improvements and some new equipment in and get it done. And with that, I'll conclude. Thank you very much for the interview.
My name is Tim Riddle. I am a lifelong resident of Hennessey, Oklahoma. Graduated from Hennessey High School in 1979. Graduated from Oklahoma State University with a BS degree in agricultural economics in 1984. I raised my family here. Both of my children went all the way through grade school, middle school, high school here. My grandmother graduated from Hennessey High School in the early 1900s. So as you can see, I have deep roots in the Hennessey community. I've had family here for generations. Last 26 years, I've been the branch manager, vice president of Community State Bank here in Hennessey. And I would say I do not have an agenda, but, well, I do have an agenda, I guess, because I want to use my experience and my leadership to make Hennessey the best community it can be in which to raise your family, retire, work. I have seen a lot of influx in younger couples with children. My daughter, son-in-law are a perfect example. They moved back here 2 years ago with their 3 children. They wanted their children in the Hennessey school system, and they wanted to raise their children in Hennessey, Oklahoma. So I think why I'm running is, to continue that, make this a place that people want to live in, want to reside in, want to retire in, and want to work in. I served on the town board from 1997 to 2003. I was the mayor in 2001 when we had the great ice storm, as I call it, probably one of the worst natural disasters we've had in the town of Hennessey. I've been an active member of this community for over 40 continuous years. I'm currently president of Hennessey Lions Club. I've been a member of that club for 34 years. I was a member of the Hennessey Educational School Foundation for 23 years. I've been on Hennessey United Association. I was on the Hennessey 2010 board. I've been on the old Pat Hennessey Celebration, Inc., Kingfisher County Republican Party for 17 years. I was on leadership Kingfisher County for several years. I'm in my 19th year of announcing Hennessey high school baseball games. I proudly answered a call for 25 years as a member of the volunteer fire department in Hennessey, Oklahoma. So I have dedicated my life to serving this community and making it a better place to be. I think if I had two areas of need for Hennessey that I think we need to focus on would be infrastructure and housing. I think the town employees have done a really, really good job of getting REAP grants and CDBG grants and other grants to help with infrastructure. But I think people don't realize that it's expensive to do those things. And I think just 2 months ago, they approved a bid to redo Mitchell Road from, I think, 7th Street to Conoco Road. And I think that was like $400,000. You know, they're getting a grant to help with that, but you know, it's hard to do these things without that grant money. So as a board member, I will do whatever I can to help continue to get those grants and continue to make those improvements in the infrastructure. The housing issue, we have seen some people, I know with the Saddleback addition over here, with the Red Bluff addition, I know Jay Ladwig with Ladwig Construction has built some really nice 3-bedroom homes on Arapahoe. Kudos to Jay because he's getting those houses sold about as fast as he can build them. So we've had some people work to alleviate that housing shortage, but there's still a need for housing in Hennessey. And like I said, just with the infrastructure, as a board member, I will do whatever I can within my authority to help do research and figure out ways to hopefully solve some of that housing issues. I'm excited about where we are as a community in Hennessey and what the future holds for our town. Several of our businesses have improved their storefronts on Main Street and their interiors. I had a relative here at Christmas, and she graduated from Hennessey High School in the mid-'80s. She comes back to town quite a bit for family, but when she's here, she does not get out and about. She comes, she sees her family, she goes home. And we were driving down Main Street, and she made a comment to me about how impressed she was with Main Street and how much it had improved over the years. And I took that to heart. I thought that was kind of exciting that people out of town are noticing we're improving our community. We're improving our Main Street. You know, it looks good. You know, we have a lot of great facilities in Hennessey between the town and the school. You start thinking about those facilities, the Eagle Event Center, the auditorium, the water park and the splash pad, the softball fields, the baseball fields, the rodeo grounds, Bullfoot Park, Memorial Park. You know, we have a lot of really, really neat facilities, and those facilities are used to bring a lot of people to Hennessey. And those people, when they're here, they spend money in town. They eat at the restaurants. You know, they buy gas. They go to the grocery stores, the convenience stores. There was a really good article in the Kingfisher paper last week about the event center and all the basketball tournaments that they've had since the end of January. And they had a Class 4A and Class 3A regional and area basketball tournament. And I thought it was really interesting because the 4A schools were mainly from the Tulsa, Oklahoma City area. And these people get their deal out and go, well, why are we going to Hennessey, Oklahoma for a regional basketball tournament? They come here and they play in that tournament and they go, hey, we want to come back next year. It's a great facility, and that's a testament to the school and the people affiliated with the school that put on those tournaments. They do a fantastic job of putting those tournaments on. So all of these facilities are used to bring people to Hennessey. I want to be on the council. We have a great working relationship, the town and the school, but I want to use my position on the board to hopefully build on that relationship, see if there's more events we can bring to these facilities to bring people to town, to spend money in our town. I know we're talking about the car show, the go-kart races, some of those kind of things. So, you know, let's see if we can bring a variety of events to attract people to Hennessey. Our greatest asset is our citizens. We have great people in this town who volunteer a lot of their time and their resources to make this town a great community for people to live in. We also have a lot of great, outstanding civic and school organizations that put a lot of money and a lot of effort into building this community. It's time to move forward. It's time to leave the negativity behind. I have the leadership, the experience, and the community involvement to make that happen. And I would appreciate your vote on April 1st. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Harold Shaw. I'm 59 years old. I'm married to my wife, Paula Shaw. Been married for 39 years. I got 2 kids, Heston Shaw and Misty Shaw, and 2 grandkids, Raceland Shaw and Brindley Shaw. And I have no agenda to be running for another 4 years. You know, my first 4 years was an eye-opening venture for me. The last 2 years, you know, since I got I'm involved into the Hennessey United. Well, when Cliff got elected mayor, he asked me to start attending the Hennessey United meetings. So when I started attending the Hennessey United meetings, it brought me more out to the public. You know, I helped do the pavilion, what we got now. I like to sit there and finish it. You know, I do ask a lot of questions at the board meeting, but it's not because I'm against people. It's because I like to get questions answered for me. Because when I go out in public now, it seems like everybody's got a question. Why are we spending this? Why, you know, so, you know, if I didn't ask that question, sometimes I go back to board meetings or go to Tiffany and ask them questions. I do not have an agenda, you know, whatsoever. I'm not, you know, it's easy to go. You know, I'm actually glad, you know, because since I've been actually watching the board meetings and stuff like that for the last 10 years, we have not had a runoff like we got now, you know. So whether I'm doing it right or wrong, I got people interested in my seat now, you know, and that's great. You know, they're young, they're old, however you want to say it. That to me is a plus for the town of Hennessey, to get more people involved in it. And if I win the election or don't win the election, I still want to be part of Hennessey. I've lived here all my life. I'm gonna stay around. You know, I'm retired. You know, I guess I should say I'm semi-retired. So, you know, I like to work on old cars and stuff like that, races. We're gonna have the big event for the cars or the go-karts and stuff like that, and that's what gives my blood rejuvenated. You know, helping stuff like that. So, you know, for everybody standing out there that have an agenda, I do not have an agenda. You know, I like our community. We got a group of great people. You know, if we all agreed on the same thing, this wouldn't be a perfect world at all. And, you know, everybody's got different opinions. And I respect their opinions, and I hope they respect mine.
My name is Evelyn Ramirez. I grew up in the town of Hennessey I am 22 throughout my 22 years of life. I grew up in this neighborhood, in this small town, which it becomes a home to me. I work at the nursing home here in town. I've been there for at least 4 years. Straight out of high school, I went there. It was what God had got me and guided me through there. I'm a people person. I love people. I love helping out and reaching out to others. Just being a helpful hand to in any other kind of way. Been here throughout my whole life, and throughout those years, people always end up leaving. I just want, as a community, to actually stay here and to make it grow, to expand the community of Hennessey, to reach out to other towns, to be beneficial to other cities as well. The reasoning I'm running for it's because I've always seen children and younger adults not involved as much as our older generation in our community, and I kind of want to bring that up. I also want to make it a safer place, a lot of community involvement. I want to expand it where our businesses can grow, where our children can get more benefits from other cities, from other places, where Hennessey is not forgotten, but people can actually remember Hennessey, be like, oh, it's a nice town. There's some nice people there. It's very beneficial. Maybe we should go eat out there. We should go have an event or go support, you know? And that's what I really want for other towns, other cities, other people to come and see, and Hennessy's a great town. The economic part, I really want to grow Hennessey by reaching out to other cities, maybe expanding a little bit and having our communities grow into one. And we have a community here where there's a lot of Hispanics, and I really want to get all of them involved as well. As a Hispanic kid, I really was always translating, so I would be gladly to translate for my town and for my townspeople. So I really want to be out there and kind of expand in that area where everybody can be involved. The conflict of a language is a barrier, and many times my family growing up didn't know about what our town was going on until someone in school would hear it, you know, and then we would be the ones communicating it to our family. So that's really what I wanted to see. They kind of don't, communication barrier would have to do a lot with it, and just not having a lot of things to do around here, if that makes sense. So just trying to like get more community involvement in our town where everybody can just come in around and enjoy that with everybody. I know I am a younger candidate other than my other fellow candidates, but I think it's a good thing. It's a good change to have someone younger there, to have tried to bring the younger generation involved into our community, and to see that there is opportunity for others to also get involved in that. Most of the time it's for the older generation. That's not for us. Leave it for them. But I think it actually opens up doors for other people, younger generation, to look out and acknowledge that, like, hey, if she did it, I can do something too, and I can become someone greater. I am here and open for change, to become greater, to become our community as one. And I just really want to put that out there, that change cannot always be bad. It can be a good thing if we give it opportunity. And I just want to say, vote for me, and God bless you all.
Well, I'm John Peach. Almost everybody in Hennessey knows me. I farm out east of town. It was recently, 6 years ago, I moved to Hennessey, so I've been a resident of Hennessey for 6 years, but I've been a part of the community for all my life. You know, this is my hometown. Even when I was out at the farm, my mailing address was Marshall, but I always told everybody, but I'm a resident of Hennessey. So Hennessy's always been my town. You know, why am I running? I think that I think we need to keep some stability in the way our town is run. I remember back years ago, every city commissioner or trustee was a commissioner of some department, and it seems like back then, sometimes when I read about it in the paper, it sounded kind of like Keystone Cops. Everybody's going in a different direction. And we need to keep on target, have somebody in charge that can keep the town going in the right direction, coordinating everything, coordinating the employees, you know, what we're doing. We just need somebody in charge. I don't think we need 5 people in charge. So I think we need to maintain what we're doing now in government. You know, we have to take care of streets, we have to take care of water, sewer. You know, that's the main goal, is to keep all those services available for the city, for the residents of Hennessey. I think that's our main goal. If I have any type of agenda, it is, let's keep Hennessey good, let's keep the nice things about Hennessey, so that people will move their businesses to town, they'll move their residents to town, and we keep the town a friendly town. And I like the way Hennessy's going right now. I think we've got good people. And I think the main thing is just to keep us going in the direction we're going. You know, if I get on the town board, I'll try to do my best to maintain what we're doing now, to work with the rest of the trustees, whoever they are, and just make things good for Hennessey. Yeah, I served on the school board for 10 years, so I understand what it's like to work with other people. I've been on the Bison Co-op board for over 40 years. You know, I know what it's like to do that. I'm on another board, Disciples Foundation Board that we deal with finances. That's a bigger board. There's I think 18 people on that. So, we have to all work together. And whoever the other commissioners are, we need to work together. We need to set some of our personal issues aside and just do what's right for the town of Hennessey.
I'm Frank Patton. I moved to Hennessey in 2009. I have 3 daughters. They're all in Arkansas, 5 grandchildren. My little sister is Lisa Weaver. You might know her. I work for a company now called Oklahoma Ag, High Pressure Transports, and 46 Ag as Safety and Compliance Manager. I've decided to run again because I wanted to have the position before, and as you're aware, Mr. Voigt had to step down, and he was one of the ones that I was running against. I think there were 5 seeking a position of 3 that was there, and he did defeat me in that, and he stepped down, and I just felt like I should live up to my obligation to say I wanted to run, and that's why I'm running. And there's some changes that I'd like to see, so that's why I'm back. I think my biggest concern, which is also, from what I hear from some of the people out there also, is there's a little bit of desire to have a little more openness with the town. I hate closed door sessions, executive sessions, but it's a legal obligation that sometimes you have to go through. But I think they should be used very rarely, and if you anticipate that happening, I think the public ought to have ample time to come put their input on how they feel about the issue at hand, if possible. There's a lot of things that happened the last probably year that people just worried, why, what, how it happened, and they feel like they were not, me included, not provided with enough answers because it wasn't the appropriate time, and they hid behind the open meetings rules or closed meetings rules. Well, I have been accounts receivable, accounts payable, run the books for several companies in the past. I've been a member of a national board for a national organization, so I'm familiar with how boards work and who you answer to and so forth. I think this town needs some work in the area of the water lines and the sewer lines, things of that nature. And I think that we need to look at how we can get some funds generated and spend everything that we've got wisely. Don't, just because we got the money, don't just go spend it, but prioritize what we need done. That's one big thing. I just think there needs to be some accountability, and we just, everybody's out in the open about where the money is going. I also think that the town is in dire need of more help from people like Jack Quirk. I think that I would enjoy working beside him and the city to put Hennessey back on the map. When I first moved here 15 years ago, there were a few celebrations, the Pat Hennessey Days, so forth, and it was like, great, the town comes to town, and you have an all-day fun, and it's kind of fizzled out. And people here lately seem to be trying to pick a fight on who's doing what and so forth and so on. And my goal is to do what's best for this town. That's my mission, is listen to the people, what they have to say. I don't care if they live on a rural road, they're paying a water bill, they have a business in town, what the case may be. Yes, they can't vote, but they have a right to air their opinions on things that go on in this town. And I just feel that it's time that we kind of spread our wings out a little bit, promote this town as a whole, and get rid of the animosity. And for one thing, I know there's a lot of people that feel that perhaps I am going to be a wingman to some of the other members that are on the board now. And that's not the case. I want to vote for what's best for this town, not what's best for people on the board or so forth. My hand goes up when I feel that it's time to go up for a yes or no vote, and it's not based on who my friends are. I don't owe anybody anything. I'm not beholden to anyone. So I will give you my best, honest to gosh, best effort to make sure that what I vote on is for this town. I'd like to thank all of you for out there that have put up with my running again, but I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And I would appreciate that you get out there on April Fool's Day and go vote. I don't care so much as who you're voting for, but I want everyone that can vote to vote. Because that's how we get over these issues, is we talk it out, vote for the one who you feel will do what's best. I believe I'm that person.